going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort. And China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
You're in the middle of all of this. Explain what's happening, because the truth is that a stable coin was supposed to be stable. It was supposed to be a buck was worth a buck. And now, at least in these two cases, that's not the case.
Yeah, well, so specifically with Terra, really what you saw was a system that was designed, a system that tried to incentivize people to create what's called an algorithmic stablecoin to be able to mint one of these. But the incentive was really a subsidy on a yield. So get 20% yield, seems risk-free. People were buying this token Luna in order to create these stablecoins that could then pay them 20% interest. But when you looked beneath the surface, and I think any reasonable person who looked beneath the surface saw that this was a bit of a house of cards. And so those subsidized yields were going to run out. I think as soon as you saw some contraction in the market, all the underlying assets that supported this, we started to see those flow out and see price pressure. And in a system like this, it's very vulnerable to the classic death spiral. And that is very much what we saw happen. Now, that's in contrast, obviously, to a regulated, fully reserved dollar digital currency or stablecoin like USDC, which is always held with cash and 3-month U.S. government treasury bonds. And that's why it's really, I think, considered kind of the gold standard in this space of stablecoins.
So the question, therefore, is, do we need more regulation? And because I think you go online and you look at some of these people who were buying this, and in some cases minting this, who I don't think understood the risks that were involved. And half the time you talk to some of the leaders of these projects and you couldn't even get a straight answer, frankly, about what was actually backing these coins.
Yeah, and even more amazing is that I think a lot of highly intelligent people who are very deep in this market, I think believed a lot of the hype. And so I think there's a lot of self-reflection that needs to go on for quite a few people in the space. Specific to the question of regulation, we have always felt that there needs to be a regulatory framework around stablecoins. That's why when we launched USDC 4 years ago, we launched it under a regulatory framework, both federal and state, that ensured that consumer protection was in place, that there was always 100% reserve. That's the money transmission statutes of the US. Our view is that there needs to be more. And so, last year, as we know, the White House, the Treasury Department issued a report saying it was urgent that Congress act on this and establish a national licensing and supervisory framework for dollar stablecoins in the United States, both because there are these known risks. Those risks get larger and larger as these get larger and larger, as everyone has seen, but also because this is a really critical infrastructure that is going to be at the center of how the dollar works on the internet. And so you want to have that be something that businesses and households can understand, can trust, can interact with, and work.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books, Cryptoteacher and the new Road Order book. The new Road Order book is going to show you how the world works. It is definitely time to wake up out of your sleep in the times that we're in right now. Plus, guys, we know we're waiting on that next main event towards the end of the year. We had the first quarter event. Like I told you, that would happen. Don't forget this is Shemitah year. And then also, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 Kids books. It's definitely time to re-educate. And also, those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon, much love, keep it coming. Do not forget I have the New World Order cryptos in my Patreon. Do your own research, but going inside of a bear market, you definitely want the cryptos that have real use cases. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores, keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first. And we have stocks and cryptos getting a relief. And I told you yesterday, I'm not your financial advisor, not financial advice. Please do your own research. But we could clearly see yields being pushed down, and that's the reason why we're getting a small pump. But yields right now rising slightly. But guys, anytime they're pushing down yields, we're going to get a pump. And as we can see in cryptos and stocks, we're bouncing back. Remember, we're going to constantly have pumps and dumps, but we're going to be headed lower. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. But guys, do not forget to pay attention to the actual indicators. We have yield rates, we have volume, we have Tether, we have USDC, and we have Jeremy says that they are the gold standard. And you guys know I said it from the beginning. They were the chosen ones. We heard Brian Brooks state that they were working on the global stablecoin for the U.S. while they were at Coinbase. But guys, and also we have the Fed, $1.9 trillion in the repo. Make sure you're pulling that on a daily basis. And then guys, we know the Fed is raising interest rates, rolling off this balance sheet, and that's the reason why the markets have been taking a beating. But do not forget the Fed is 6 months to a year out. Before they actually pull the real rug, we're going to get a bigger distraction. And we see the Luna situation was a great distraction. I'm going to go over that later. But then also, guys, we have Grayscale, 25 billion, moving down close to $1 billion. We know they probably pick up today just because, as we can see, the stock market and cryptos are definitely getting a small pump. Now, getting over into a little crypto news, we have the U.S. Senate confirms Jerome Powell for another 4 years as the Fed chairman. And guys, we know what that means. He's going to land us inside the 4th Industrial Revolution, where the robots, algorithms, and drones take over the economy, and the sheep go inside the metaverse. Now we have Elon Musk puts Twitter takeover on hold until they figure out how many spam accounts they have. But guys, we know this is all part of the movie. We know Elon Musk is a puppet for the NWO. But we do have midterms coming up. It would be wonderful if they get Trump back on Twitter. Now, as Bitcoin was hitting the bottom, we had Canadian Bitcoin ETF add 6,000 Bitcoin. And we see that Bitcoin dominance keeps getting stronger. And we know a lot of these cryptos are going to fall by the wayside. And speaking of falling, we had Binance suspends Luna and UST trading. And when we look at UST and Luna, there's definitely protocols to follow where they could have stopped the bleeding. And one of them is simply burning, and that's what I thought they were going to do in order to save the peg. We actually saw the supply go all the way up to 6 trillion, which really caused the price to plummet. The only thing I had to do was burn. But you guys know I do not believe in coincidences. As the market was taking a beating, we had Janet Yellen in front of the world, saying how a run on stable coins can easily happen. And we know the only ones that can perform or act like this is the big banks. We know they control the supply and demand. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have Nomura starts trading crypto derivatives. And we keep seeing the casino keeps getting bigger and bigger. Even though we've been having negative distractions, we're constantly seeing the digital economy being built. And remember what I teach you, the NWO uses that negative energy. Now we have NASDAQ partners with XP to launch cryptocurrency exchange in Brazil. And lastly, we have FTX CEO buy $650 million stake in Robinhood. And we know Sam Friedman, Kathy Woods, they all know about the fourth industrial revolution. They're not going to disclose that to the masses. But on the Crypto Teacher, I give you the truth, nothing but the truth. Yes, the truth hurts, but it sets you free. And in 3 years, you're going to see the robots, algorithms, and drones take over the economy. And the sheep, the millennials, Generation Z, go inside the metaverse. The metaverse is then going to download the brain. And the NWO will have real control over the masses' brains. Yes, it sounds like a movie, but remember, your life is an illusion, and TV is your reality. But guys, all I have for you, don't forget about the books, Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, if you're new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance, and not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The Crypto Teacher Stock Channel, Crypto Teacher Stocks. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming, while everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the C-Word, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know, I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.